All right, so the next thing that we're going to speak about is why do the three angles of a triangle add up to 180? So let's start with the diagram of two parallel lines cut by a transversal, and then let's add another line to that diagram. And the reason we add that line is because in the middle here, we're making a triangle. Now let's go one step further and realize these angles at the top, we're going to call them A, B, and C. Now, by alternate interior angles, I think we're going to find that A and C can actually be equal to angles inside the triangle. See, alternate interior angle there equal to A, alternate interior angle here equal to C. Now, if before those three angles added up to 180, now they also still add up to 180, even though we moved where we put them. So we start by realizing that the original A, B, and C added up to 180. Now, because alternate interior angles of parallel lines are congruent, we can move angles A and C, put them inside the triangle, and that means that A plus B plus C is 180. So the three angles of a triangle sum to or add up to 180 degrees. Now, this is the first instance in which we started to play with the idea of a proof. Okay, we'll get very into proofs a little later on in the course, but for now, this is a way of proving why the three angles of a triangle have to add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so here's an example in the upper left of three angles of a triangle, and if we add them up, 109 plus 23 plus 48, we get 180, and that is always the case. So let's have you do the one with the red angles up here and find the missing angle. I don't even think we need to do stop and start. I'll pause for about 10 seconds on my side while you get it done. Okay, so if I add 82 and 55, I come up with 137, and then I do 180 minus the 137, and I get 43. So the missing angle is 43. Let's have you do the next three diagrams from left to right, and I will give you the correct answers after you do stop and start. Go ahead. Okay, so on the first one, the two angles 70 and 30, they add up to 100. So if I do 180, because the three angles of a triangle add up to 180, and I subtract the 100, I get 80. Next, the 120 and the 34 add up to 154. The 180 minus 154 is 26. And on the last one, the 54 and the 59 add up to 117, and 180 minus 117 is 63. So there are some numeric applications that involve the three angles of a triangle, and again, we're just working numbers here. Now we're going to get involved with doing a little bit of algebra. So here is a typical question that involves algebra, and I wrote out the answer step by step on how to do it. So what I know is that these three angles have to add up to 180. So I take the angle on the left, x minus 10, add the 2x plus 5, and then add the 35, and I get 180. So that would then be doing same side, same operation, 3x. Now I have three of them to put together. Negative 10 and 5 make negative 5, plus 35 makes 30. So 3x plus 30 is 180. At this point, it's a standard two-stepper, pretty easy. Subtracting 30 from both sides, dividing by 3, x is 50. Okay, so now let's animations. I'm sure you know how to do this with by paragraph. Okay, slideshow. Start it up. Okay, so we're going to add them up and get 180. So 2x plus the 96 plus an x plus 12 is 180. Combining like terms, that's 3x plus 108 is 180. Subtracting the 108, I get 3x is 72. Dividing by that 3, and I get x is 24. Okay, now let's go to the next one, except I'm also going to boom, animations. We can go fly in, and we'll do that by paragraph, and now we go to slideshow and find the value of x. Go ahead. Okay, so if I add them all up, in this case, there's a 3x plus 9, there's an x minus 1, and there's a 3x plus 4. I'm going to get the 180 degrees that the angles of the triangle add up to. Well, 3x's and 8x's is 11x, and 3 more x's is 14x. 9 and negative 1 make 8, and positive 4 make 12. Subtracting 12, 14x is 168, dividing by 14, and I get x is 12. So we just did some problems that involve numbers in the three angles of a triangle adding up to 180 and algebra in the three angles of a triangle adding up to 180. The so far summary says three angles of a triangle sum to 150. 150? What the heck? On that, right? Every single person in the class would catch me on that. Triangle sum to 180, that's much nicer. Complementary, that means they add up to 90. Supplementary, they add up to 180. And what I want to emphasize here is as the letter C comes before S in the alphabet, 90 comes before 180, okay? Vertical angles are congruent or equal. So we used all of those ideas throughout the slides so far today. Next up will be some slides practicing the parallel lines cut by a transversal we've been going over the last 2 lessons.